Hello and welcome to Gulgotia University e-learning platform. I am Mehak Pandit, the Assistant Professor with Department of Mass Communication, and I'm also the course coordinator for the event management. So this is my third video lecture. In the previous video lectures, I have elaborately discussed the concept, broad categories on the basis of variant attributes of event management. And in today's video lecture, we'll be learning about the process of event planning and management. So let us begin with the process of event management. So the process of event management is divided into three stages, like the production stages, which is pre-event, which is also called the planning stage, then during the event or live event, which is also called the execution stage, wherein you execute everything that you have planned in the pre-event. And then comes the most important and a stage where everybody actually misses out, because this is a very important stage called the post-event follow-up stage. Now let us learn about each of these stages in detail. With the third stage of the event management, so let us begin with the first stage of the event management process, which is also called the planning stage, the pre-event activity stage, which is the first stage of event management, as you have seen in the previous slide. Of course, every stage of the event management requires a lot of coordination, because event typically involves teamwork and have responsibilities assigned to each team member. So coordination is must no matter whatever step you are in. So coordination among team members is very important. Let us begin with the step one. So whenever a client visits you, you are an event management. Yeah. So let us begin with the first stage, the planning stage of the event management, that includes the pre-event activities. Event typically involves a lot of teamwork, and hence responsibilities are assigned to each team member. And coordination among team members is very important, no matter whatever stage you are working in. Moving and talking about the first stage of event management. So let us suppose that you are an event management organization, and a client of any brand, of any product whatsoever, comes in, walks in for organizing maybe a corporate event or a government event or a profitable or a non-profitable event. Here, if you want to know about the type of events that I've discussed in the previous video lecture, so of course you can firstly pause and go to my previous video to learn about that, because so that it becomes easier for you to understand this particular video lecture. Yeah, so moving towards the first step that must be done whenever the client comes to visit you and talks about his idea, what kind of event he wants. So the first thing is creating the event brief according to the client needs, because every client is versatile. Every organization has its own set of objectives or goals to achieve by organizing a particular event. For example, if a particular brand is new and they just want to open up in market and announce people that yes, we are here, so that's their purpose. But when it comes to established brand, and if they are about to launch a new product, so the kind of activity to be planned for a particular organization would be different, because their need is just telling people that they are coming with a new product, but they already have a brand image. And then again, in another case, if there is a brand which underwent some crisis situation, and they want to revamp and tell people that we are now safe, and you can or maybe we have overcome everything and we are back again whatsoever. So they have their different objectives. So every event is distinct, and because every client has their own needs. So by understanding what kind of needs a particular client has, the creative team of the event management organization helps up put up some creative ideas in front of your client, and client can then choose that what kind of activities or events could be planned for a particular type of client, right? Then moving to the second step comes your budget statement as per the client needs. Now this is also very essential for, like, a product launch event can be of any scale. It could be a small event, it could be a medium level event, or it could be a large scale event. So the budget would be different in each of the case. So by understanding that what kind of um, you know amount a client want to spend on their event, you could prepare their budget, and of course then offer them particular things as an event management organization to a particular client. So this has to be done by the project manager, because he is the one who is experienced one, who could facilitate the client with whatever they could offer in a specific budget. So next thing is finalizing the budget. And the third thing to be very clearly put up in front of the client is the critical dates and the deadlines. What happens is, because you are a event management organization and management comes along with you, it means you are very structured. And if you give a particular deadline for to a particular client, you must not delay. You must try your best to not delay, and maybe skip के आज हो जाएगा कल हो जाएगा. This should not happen at all. This is because that of course impacts the reputation you have in the mind of people that way. So maintaining the critical dates and deadlines within the organization, and the kind of deadlines you put up in front of the client need to be catered to. Of course, the kind of deadlines you create within the organization must have be extended. That's a policy that would not be mentioned in any of the book anywhere, but this is something which should be followed, right? So you should create some in-house deadlines, and some of course deadlines that you have already discussed with your clients, and you must follow that. The fourth thing, which is also a very important stage, because during the pre-event, from announcing the event to inviting people if it's something related to buying tickets or booking seats whatsoever, then overall designing with graphics in form of the advertisement, the posters, everything. If it's a video, or if it's an advertisement meant for social media or electronic media, whatsoever media it is, everything should be scheduled, designed, and planned, and then published. Step by step. All of these things are to be done, of course, by understanding. What kind of time organization have or a client has within his hands, and what kind of media coverage or media announcements a particular client wants. The third thing, which is a very important stage, or I would say a very legal stage, is that you have to of course understand the legalities of the contract, which is of course mutual. So whenever you take money from a client, or you decide what to do, and what are your planning, so all of the legal formalities must be done mutually. Now the last thing, because the planning stage is all about dealing coordination. Of course, there will be certain things that a event management organization has on its own, and there are certain requirements, maybe like furniture, maybe in terms of infrastructure, maybe in terms of video cameras or whatsoever, or maybe renting a property, whatsoever it is. All of the quotations must be provided to the suppliers in advance. So these are certain activities. Of course, there are also further activities. So these are firstly initiated activities to be done in the pre-event stage. The acquisition of material, of course, whatever is required during the event day, so everything must be acquired before that, so that everything that is planned and put up on paper is finally executed. Depend now the next step, which actually depends upon the level of event it is. It could be a large scale or a small scale event. While the security and safety arrangements are very necessary, no matter whatever level it is, but yes, of course, it becomes more typical and meant to be more organized when it comes to a large scale event. So safety and security arrangement must be checked throughout and done completely, so that there is no issue while the event is on. Then comes the whatever content that you have produced must be promoted nicely. That is also very very important step in event management, because if your event is not promoted properly, then the footfall of course may be hindered, and which could eventually lead to a failure of your event. So promotional content, publishing, sharing with people, all of that must be done quite in advance and as per the schedule that you have planned. Then comes the hiring and renting of services. External services like maybe the decor, furniture, whatsoever should be done quite in advance, so that there is no issue. And of course, recheck must be done, till everything is executed. Now, the next important stage is very essential and among the last stages of the event planning, which is quality check vigilance. Because whatever you have planned or promised to a client must eventually be executed. So, getting the quality check is very necessary. And the last and the most important step is briefing of the staff by the supervisors, or in fact, event managers should brief even the supervisors of how eventually they have planned, or if there are any minor or major changes in whatever process it was discussed on table. So every staff must be briefed and they must know how anything is eventually meant to be done. Now let us move to the second stage of event management, that is live or during the event activities. Now yes, everything was set on the platter, everything was promised to the client, and then all of your team did all of the planning perfectly, and now is a stage which will eventually end up showcasing that how was your planning done. That is the execution stage. So first thing is, that the communication between the client and event managers must be consistent. It must be regular, and there must not be any issue. And everything must be conveyed, thoroughly, so that client knows about what is happening around and is never confused. The next step is the constant coordination and surveillance of throughout the event. Of course, because of course there may be some hindrance, some things may going on. It's never a perfect event, and of course, if the most important trick that every event management organization must follow is having a plan B, because usually event happens or whatever things happen, plan A might not execute well, so you almost always have plan B. And the surveillance or coordination in terms of for the kind of arrangements, suppose you ordered some caterers and there's some issue related to the LPG services or whatsoever it may be, so everything must be coordinated, and everything must be checked, quality must be assured, so that there are no expected accidents to happen over there because of all of these things, because of course they are very crucial, right? Next comes the monitoring. Of course, monitoring is very essential, keeping a check that everything is working, everything is executed whatsoever it is. Then safety and security arrangement check again during the event, throughout the event is very important. And then of course, the multimedia and recording arrangements, because you have to maintain the memories of your event for you yourself as an organization, because of course after you execute the successful event, you must pat yourself after reviewing the kind of event you have organized, and also for the clients. So multimedia and recording arrangement must be checked and everything must be set. And once the complete event is executed and you think everything is done the way you were expecting, or there was certain hindrance but eventually the event is executed well, you must always end the during event activity with acknowledging the efforts of your team members. So now comes the last stage of the event management, which is the post-event activity stage. Now this stage is very, very crucial, and most of the event management organization tend to miss out on doing the follow-up, and then they never review that what kind of things they missed on, or whatever was missing in the event, which could have made them, if it was a event, then A plus, right? So that way, so the post-event review is very, very important. Review in terms of review from the client, then review from the participants or spectators, then review from the staff itself is very important. Then recording the feedback, getting the testimonials, everything is very essential. So the testimonials in fact help the event management organization in maintaining record of the kind of activities or events they have organized over the years and building themselves as an event management brand. And then of course testimonials for the client also is very essential, so that you can eventually put up that yes, whatever was promised was executed nicely. So asking for the feedback is very essential. And in fact, at the ending of your live event or during event activities, feedback must be processed so that eventually it is collected. But in case if you have missed that during the event stage, then post event feedback must be done, and feedback must have the option of getting the mobile numbers and email IDs of the participants who were there, so that next time when you organize the event, you already have some kind of data with you, right? So that's a very important trick that you must follow. Now comes the collecting the marketing and media material, whatever you have published, so that you have the complete details of the event that you have planned and thoroughly you could see that. Then following up on social media. Now that's also very important, because usually what happens is when the event is done, the event manager organization ultimately just forgets everything. No, you must always keep putting up pictures for some time, so that people know that particular event happened, and this was the event management organization that happened. And telling people, maybe you could make a selfie corner during the event, and people could click pictures and tag you on your pages like that. These kind of activities help in social media engagement. Then creating highlights for the social media, highlights for the electronic media, whatever media coverage that was required must be done, so that people remember that so and so media organization, event management organization organized an event for so and so brand. So this eventually helps your client as well as you as an event management organization. now that you now that you know about the three stages of the event management, now let us focus on a very important concept, which is of course not important included in your curricula, but yes, I want to cater your attention to, because I think all of the learners who are studying event management must understand the concept of sponsorship. Now, event sponsorship can be defined as a critical source of funding for all kind of events, no matter it is a government event, corporate event, profitable or non-profitable event. Certainly, they are more popular in the non-profitable event, right? So where companies, non-profit and small business give a certain amount of cash or incentive in exchange for both visibility and brand awareness at a particular event. Like you see very popular brands name displayed on the award ceremony stage, that is also kind of a sponsorship. So when it comes to type of sponsorship that you can see on your screen, there are four types of sponsorship: media sponsorship, financial sponsorship, in-kind sponsorship, and promotional sponsors. Now, what is media sponsorship? So basically, this kind of sponsorship is very popular for the large scale events and high profile events, I would say, because they require plenty of publicity. And if a certain media is your sponsor, it would certainly be very advantageous for you. Now let us understand how. Basically, that companies that are able to provide financial aid in securing media coverage for their event. So those media sponsors might pay for an advertisement in a local paper, or cover the cost of filming a TV commercial. So it's like an add-on, right? So in some cases, they may also publicize your event through their social media channels. For like your event is published on your social media, your client social media, and also the media sponsor social media platform. And they might also write an article in a publication, or even publish a blog post about your event and organization on their blog or their website. So this is all done in the exchange of sponsorship benefits. And that may include displaying of banner or booth, like I've already told you, done at your event, and then brand recognition in the printed material, the printed publishing materials like the posters or ads that you might have put up, or exclusive interview similar to the that you do usually do. Now this is about your media sponsorship. Now, similar to your media sponsors, promotional partners are able, or they are public figures, so bloggers or local celebrities who have lot of followers also help you promote your event to their own customer or fan base. So this is also a kind of a media sponsorship. Now let us move to the second kind of sponsorship, which is your financial sponsors. So as the name suggests, this financial sponsorship is also called cash sponsorship. Basically, cash or financial sponsorship are sponsors who literally give money to an event organizer in the exchange of benefits that are outlined in a sponsorship agreement. And this may also include logo placement or signage or promotional materials, pre-event content creation that is done, promotions and keynote speeches. Now here there's a very important point. Of course, your sponsorships must be planned in advance, so that all of these sponsors could be included during your first stage. That is, whenever you are planning your publishing material, if you already know about your sponsors, you could add their name on your published materials. Now this is important thing to be noted. Coming to the third kind of sponsors, that are in-kind sponsors. So unlike cash or financial sponsors, in-kind sponsors donate products or services instead of offering cash. For example, a hotel may offer you free use of their facility as a form of sponsorship. Basically, in this regard, the hotel is not making a cash contribution, but rather they are serving as a location sponsor. So these are called in-kind sponsors. Now comes the last sponsor, that is a promotional partner or a promotional sponsor. So similar to media sponsor, promotional partners, they are also, public figure, and like I've told you, that bloggers and local celebrities who have lot of followers help to promote your event to your to their customer base, basically. So those are called the promotional sponsors, which are a little bit similar to your media sponsors. So these are your four kind of sponsorship that are done. On the screen, you can see the references that I've mentioned that could be used for your future readings. So that's all for today's video lecture. In today's video lecture, we have discussed quite in detail about the process of the event management, all of the stages and activities that are meant to be done, and also we understood the concept of sponsorship. In future videos, we'll be understanding the importance of events for the customers as well as the client. For any query, of course, you can contact me on my mentioned email ID and contact number. Till then, take care and stay tuned.